Yeah, girl, that's sad. That's sad. That if she wanted a child, she'd have to do it right now or freeze her eggs. I will say the language in which this child speaks is a little annoying sometimes. I don't know. It's hard to rate these books, okay? What's up, everybody? I'm Jessica Nicole Dickerson, aka Jane D, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're gonna find out if I met my 30 books in 30 days challenge for April. If you don't know, it's trying to read 30 books in 30 days. This is my second time doing this challenge. I do have a playlist below if you're interested in checking out the videos. I don't know why I paused. I had a little brain fart, but yes, really fun. I always love doing this. This second time around was a little difficult, so let's see how many books I actually managed to read this month. I actually have no idea how many I read, so you'll be finding out with me. I also have to look back at my vlogs. I literally have my computer pulled up next to me so I can see which books I read in them because it's been a crazy month. Let's get into it. The first book I finished was The Shadow One by Lori Forrest. If you don't know, I've been obsessing and raving about the Black Witch Chronicles, which is a, I would say YA new adult, but leaning more towards YA, magical fantasy, high fantasy. There's a lot of different creatures. To summarize this briefly, this is a story following Ellerin, who is a descendant of the Black Witch, which was her grandmother. She's the spitting image of her, but she lacks all the magical abilities that this Black Witch had. And the Black Witch oppressed tons of people, killed tons of people. She was a great lady. So Ellerin is really struggling to fit in university, and it dives so deep into the politics and talks about prejudice in such a beautiful, beautiful way. Really love this book series. I still need to read the fourth one, but I started off the month finishing this guy. I was wrecked. I was emotionally distraught. The first two books are mostly placed in a university setting, and all these, there's such a large cast of characters and you're getting to know all of them. Yo, in book three I was, distraught is a good way to put it because so many bad things happen and that makes me sad. So if you like dark fantasies, high fantasies, political intrigue, romance, there's kind of a love triangle going on. Also, if you like kind of dark academia, there's a lot of learning in the first two books about, magic and how to use wands, and now in the third book and in the fourth book we're learning about how to use magic. So highly recommend. Definitely a really great way to start off this whole journey. Definitely a 5-star book. One of my top tier series now. I just obsessed. Can't handle all the love. The next book I read was actually another 5-star, which is exciting. Started off on a good foot, and that is Black Girls Must Be Magic. This is the sequel to Black Girls Must Die Exhausted, which I got an arc of. Have been obsessing about too. Equally just such an amazing story. This follows our main character, Tabitha Walker. I almost forgot her name. We follow Tabby, who is 33. She's got her life figured out. She's dating someone who she thinks she could possibly marry and have kids with. She's up for a promotion in her job. She's a journalist. She's making an impact. She's, got everything kind of checked off in life until she finds out that she has not enough eggs, that if she wanted a child she'd have to do it right now or freeze her eggs, which throws a wrench into everything because obviously that costs so much, and most jobs don't cover that. Like health insurance don't cover that for some reason. And we dive into this kind of girl power friendship group. Her friends try and help her with everything. We dive into her romantic problems, her familial problems. Lots of unpacking to do. I really enjoyed the second book. I do think it was a little short. The first one was more than 300 pages. This one's around 250, but I'm so invested in Tabitha's story. I think it's really impactful, really fun to read about this, though I don't feel like I'm in the same place as her, wanting to have kids and needing everything to be kind of figured out so you can be a full adult. I relate to her in many of her struggles when it comes to workplace conflicts, friend groups, communications between your friends and romantically. So I think a lot of people can get a lot from this series, and again, highly recommend. 5-star. Oh, so that makes 2 books. The next book I managed to read was Bookish and the Beast. This is the 3rd installment. It's a trilogy, but technically they're all companion novels. This is a part of the Once Upon a Con series by Ashley Poston. So we're following these kind of cast of characters that go to this nerdy book con, or like, actually it's not a book con, it's like a TV con, sci-fi con. Lots of nerd references. This book is so filled with nerd references. If you like the Cinderella stories, like the one with Selena Gomez and Hilary Duff and other people, you'll definitely love this series. That with with nerd stuff, with Star Trek, with Star Wars, which is very fun. So in this particular series, we follow one of the main actors who's kind of our bad boy type, and a girl in a small town who is, you know, bookish. She's Bookish and the Beast. It's a Beauty and Beast retelling, in case you didn't catch on, you know. So we see them start to, you know, it starts off as like enemies to lovers. That's the story basically, you know, Beauty and the Beast, but like with all the nerd energy. I enjoyed this. I thought it was super fun. I will say Geekerella, the first installment, was a 5-star perfection for me because I thought it was so fun from beginning to end. I was so invested in both characters. Very good. This one, I would give it like a 3-star. I think it was okay. I think it was fun. The first sentence is, whenever you think your love life sucks, just remember I fell in love with a boy whose name I don't know. Yeah, girl, that's sad. That's sad. I believe the next book I managed to read was The Cowboys Claim, which was kindly gifted to me by Women of Color Reads, Davina. I'll have her channel link below. Highly recommend checking her out. She's the best. But this was a really cute romance that actually made me buy more in the series. The Tilbury series. Might be a little obsessed. Might be entering a romance era. If you've been watching the vlogs, I've been talking about that. But this one isn't particularly a steamy romance. It gets steamy, but then fades to black right away, which is like, oh, thank God. Good for me. You know, just my bad. That's what I want from romance, because I do want to focus mostly on the characters, and I really liked how this delved into the acting struggle. So our main leading woman, whose name I completely forget, Chloe, and what's the guy's name? Tristan. Chloe is an actress. She is auditioning for a big role that could change her life, but she needs to get over her fear of horses, riding horses, because it is a future cowboy western movie. She is struggling to do so, so she moves to this like small town for like 6 weeks to kind of understand the reign of the ropes, you know. And Tristan at the beginning is like, this little actress, I don't like her, she's just here to get, you know, in our way, you know, he'd be talking all this craziness. They start to like each other, and then they kind of realize how their lifestyles don't really fit in just perfectly, and it's great. I loved it so much. It was so enjoyable, and it was a really good page turner, which I think is really important for a romance. You have to care for the characters, and you have to care about what's going on and what they're kind of having issues communicating with. I love the attention the book community has brought to the third act breakup, which normally happens in every romance story, like literally any. So I like the attention to detail, because I don't get bothered when there's that miscommunication if it's really believable, if it has like real stake to it. So this was so cute, and we do love a romance that features 2 black characters. We stand. The Cowboys Claim. Highly recommend. This, I think for me, was like a 3.5. Definitely something I would reread. I wouldn't give it a 4-star, 5-star just because I wasn't completely obsessed. Like, I liked it enough to buy more because I feel like I'm diving into romance. But yeah, maybe like a 3.75. I don't know. It's hard to rate these books, okay? Chapter 1. It was perfect riding weather at Tilbridge House Stable. That's not a great first sentence. Don't judge the book by that first sentence. It's way better than that, okay? The following book was literally another romance, and that is The Proposal by Jasmine Guillory. I've read another book by this author, and I did enjoy it. It was like The Holiday. It was about an older couple who were just trying to explore life and have fun. It was very cute. So I wanted to dive more into her work, and I went to a used bookstore, and I saw that there was this just cute little, like, it's like romance book size, but still with the cute illustrated cover, which I just want more romance books to be like that. Like, I get the floppiness of a regular paperback, but I just love mass market paperbacks. Am I the only one? Let me know in the comments. I just love it. I love the illustrated covers nowadays, and I love a little compact, cute little book. It's just so adorable. This is a story following our people's names that I don't remember. Nicole is our leading lady, and then we have her friend romance, Carlos. They meet because Nicole's current boy situation proposes to her at a, like, what's that sport called? Baseball. I almost said Lakers, and then I was like, that's not the right sport. I forget what baseball team is the LA team. My bad. Clearly don't do sports. But she gets proposed by this guy, and it's like they've been dating for 5 months. She does not love him. He spelled her name wrong on the projector. Like, clearly he was just doing this for attention. He's an actor. He was just, you know, marketing stunt kind of thing. She's pissed, obviously. She's like, no, and now the whole city hates her because she publicly had to turn down a guy, which is, you know, most people would get upset. Like, how dare you break up with him so publicly? It's like, how dare he propose to me publicly? It was just bad. And Carlos sweeps in and kind of saves her by faking to be her friend, and this whole romance ensues. It's so sweet and cute. I will say the beginning's a little repetitive because of the situation, because it was so crazy, that proposal. It ends up being rehashed a lot. Her talking to her friends, her talking to Carlos, her having to tell people and explain herself. So there was a lot of talking in the beginning. But then we dive into these characters and why they're reluctant to date. You really understand why Nick does not want to date anyone. Like, she's like, hardcore no, I cannot, my heart can't handle. And it's just super sweet. I really enjoyed it. This is something I'd reread, even though this felt more like a 3-star read, but it was fun while reading it. So when I have those romance urges, I can read this. And again, not very steamy, this book, which is my taste for romance. Okay, chapter 1. Nick Patterson looked around at the perfect Los Angeles day. Clear blue sky, bright green baseball field, warm sun shining down on thousands of people her at Dodgers Stadium. The Dodgers. See, I went straight to basketball. I went to Lakers. Excuse me, I'm sorry. This next book was a bit of a disappointment, which I'm also happy because I went into kind of spoilery thoughts in my vlog, and I think you guys enjoyed that. A lot of you guys agreed in the comments about why this particular book wasn't your cup of tea, but also we could totally see collectively like why other people might like this book, and it was perfect on paper. So that's why it's good to watch the vlogs. But Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzalez. I actually got this as an ARC well before it was like released, and it was released last year, and I just finally caught up. I know, I took forever. But I really enjoyed her other book, Mostly Devastated. Don't think I'd buy a physical copy of it, but I did enjoy it. I like her writing style, and again, I like the writing in this one. I just particularly didn't like the main character, and I go into that in the vlog if you want specifics. But this story is following our main character, who is Darcy. We have Darcy, who is, I believe, like 18, 17, and she is running a business on the down low on her school campus. It's this locker system where people will throw in a letter asking for romantic advice with a $10 bill and being like, hey, you'll help me, and she will reimburse them if her advice doesn't help, which has only happened like once or twice. So she's on it. She's getting like 10 letters a week. She's making money, and she's helping tons of people. But it's weird because it's like her love life is in shambles. She has a huge unrequited crush on a best friend, which again I dive into in my vlog about how that's really, really creepy. But yeah, and then, you know, this guy stumbles on to her, finds out her secret, and then it tries to use her for her romantic advice, and trouble ensues. This is a 3-star. I didn't like really any of the characters. I wasn't rooting for any of them. That was the only thing that held it back. I thought otherwise the story was like fun and dynamic. I just kind of wish I liked the main characters more. I didn't like the guy. I didn't like the best friend. I didn't find her to be a wholesome, cute love interest. I was like, you annoy me. And the main character also annoyed me. Yeah. I would recommend this if you're looking for more bi representation, you like love triangles, you like drama. I would recommend this still. And I would also recommend Full Disclosure by Cameron Garrett. That one is also really good bi representation. That one I liked just a smidge more. So that's why I'm also recommending it. Chapter 1. Everyone in school knows about locker 89. The locker at the bottom right, at the end of the hall near the science labs. We all know your dirty secrets, Darcy. Two. But yeah, how many books does that make? I was not counting. I'm so bad at this. One. This makes 6. We're still in the single digits. Oh no. This next book was definitely a 5-star. Not because necessarily the plots or anything like that. I just think it was really eye-opening, and I love how it was written, and that is Stamped: Racism, Anti-Racism, and You. And it's written by Jason Reynolds. It is a remix of a different novel, Stamped from the Beginning, which I now really want to purchase, because this is basically all about how racism came to be, like legislatively, like through paper, through written word. There are so many documents through history that tries to justify racism, which is fucked up, because it wasn't founded on a lot of things, if that makes sense. And it also historically talks about how when we progressed, when we had these moments of like, oh, let's free the slaves, let's do this and that, it was kind of, those moments were always half-hearted. They were out of political intrigue to benefit their platform so they can get voted in as president or as whatever. And it's probably why we have so many issues still nowadays, because no one's wholeheartedly trying to fix the issue. They're just trying to, you know, become a politician, or they're trying to gain attention or garner attention. But the main theme that I kind of loved, that was like the through line of this book, is the idea of racists. So people who were separatists, or like wanted segregation, and the idea of assimilationists. I'm probably saying these words wrong because I'm silly and not smart. Assimilationists and anti-racist, and how Jason Reynolds, and I'm sure in the other book, kind of categorized these people and what they were doing as either, yes, they are anti-racist, or oh no, they're assimilationists. Because assimilationists believe that to garner respect, you have to behave a certain way, which is also interesting because a lot of those people who had that train of thought were highly educated and went to college and things like that. It's like, no, we can't all do that. So it's interesting that in history, we talk about Martin Luther King, we talk about W.E.B. Du Bois, we talk about Malcolm X, we talk about so many, like just from the beginning of legislative, like the first time someone wrote down a racist thought to justify their actions, to kind of present day Obama stuff. So it covers a lot of history. I think it's really interesting. I feel like, yeah, people should read about this. People need to know their history so we aren't doomed to keep repeating it. Please, God. So the first sentence of this book is, Dear reader, to know the past is to know your present. To know the present, you must know yourself. Boom. That was 2 sentences. I gave you a little bit more because I really like this book. Okay. Okay, the 8th book that I managed to read was Don't Ask Me Where I'm From, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I think this is, again, 3.75, 4-star. I really enjoyed it. There are some things I didn't love about it, but a lot I did. This is a story following our main protagonist. I'm so terrible with names. Liliana Cruz, and then she kind of starts going by Lily. This is a story about a girl who has parents who immigrated to the States to give her a better chance, and she, Lily, gets into this MECA program, so she gets to chart it off to a private school every day, even though it's like really far from where she lives. She lives in Boston. So she gets up at 5 a.m. and she starts going to this private school to get a better education and get a better future. And she realizes how much friction there is in that, missing her old life and her friends. There's issues within her family and immigration struggles, and she still has to show face and work hard and be good in school when people are actively being racist to her and her classmates online through bullying. And I do like that this book doesn't sugarcoat it and offers a lot of varying opinions on this issue. I think it's really cool how that is done. I will say the language in which this child speaks is a little annoying sometimes. I know I'm in my 20s and I can't really judge, but I would like to say I don't think any 14-year-olds are walking around going, I'm hip. That is my only personal gripe, because it threw me out of the story a couple times where I'm like, she trying to be cool, but she not speaking like a cool person. So the language was a little interesting. But yeah, overall, I really enjoyed the story. And I think this is something I would reread and recommend to people, especially if you like Elizabeth Acevedo and things like that. I did really enjoy this book. So 4-star, 3.7, I don't know. Chapter 1. Picture it. Me in the middle of making proud choices class. That's sex ed for anyone not born this century. Yeah, she tried to be hip. She tried to be cool. The next book I managed to finish was this really cute poetry collection, Corazon, which is just, I thought was really, really, really beautiful. It talks about love, loving yourself, family, trauma, and it's not like Milk and Honey. It's not super like simplistic and straight to the point, which I know some people really love. This is, a sample. Let's see. I marked this one down. After another bad date. It isn't like I like him. It's like I like the idea of being wanted. Someone willing to open my doors and windows, let in some light where it hasn't been in a while. My girls say he's whack and I can do better. I laugh. We are at a bar and both our shoulders catch the neon lights. We drink the night away despite our early mornings. This is what I want. Someone to lean into me with laughter. Tonight it's her. Tomorrow, ask me his name, I won't remember. But my friend, her smile, I'll keep. It's cute. I guess, yes, still kind of simplistic and not as like rhythmic as some like more traditional poetry. So I think it's like a good balance, a good in between. Highly recommend. So cute. I think I'm gonna give this 4-star. I'm terrible at rating things. I'm like, ugh. Okay. I also read Inheritance, which is Elizabeth Acevedo's newest poetry collection. It's a visual poem, so it's really, really pretty. This is always the page I show. It's like the first one. The phrase or the page says, some people tell me to fix my hair. And by fix, they mean straighten. They mean whiten. And it's just a really beautiful, just colorful experience. And I love it. It makes me really happy that books are coming out like this. I don't know. It's very cute. And Epic Reads actually sent it to me, so I feel very, 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 very grateful. Okay, and those were actually all the books that I read. The next few things I read were mangas. And I could totally be that girl who's like, oh yeah, I read 8, 9, 10. I read 10 physical books, and I totally read 20 manga. I didn't, to be honest. I did not hit the 30 book mark. Ooh, now you know, okay. But I did manage to read 6 volumes of this manga series, which I really liked, and I'm gonna keep reading. And it's perfect kind of for an Asian readathon, but that means in the month of April, I read 15 books, which is half of the goal. So I don't know if I should be like super disappointed or just happy, because I do think that is the most I've read in a month this year. This year has been a slower reading year, only because in the month of April I literally went to Portland for like 9 days to visit family, and then I went to New Mexico to visit a friend. So there was a lot of traveling and a lot of big auditions, and I don't know, just trying to fulfill life and booktube goals while still having fun challenges like this. So I'm very happy with the books that I read. I only had one unhaul. I feel like last time I did this challenge, again, you can check out the playlist. I have it linked somewhere. Last time I did this challenge and I did hit the goal of 30 books, I unhauled so many books. There were so many books I literally gave up reading like 100 pages into. I was like, I cannot waste my time on this book. This time around, I finished every single book that I wanted to read, and I enjoyed most of them. So I think it was technically a success. What do you think? Do you think I succeeded? 50% is a big fat F, if I'm being real. Whatever. It is not a big deal. But yeah, more reading vlogs to come. I think my next reading vlog is actually a screening of me going to a Netflix premiere, which was really exciting for a book to movie adaptation. I also think I need to update you guys on how my unhauling haul stuff has been going on, because I have been hauling so many books. I really have. I need to stop buying books. That's it for today's video. I can't thank you enough for watching. If you want to support me, definitely check out my Patreon below. I'm also selling my unhauled books, so if you want to check those out, you can do so if you live in the States, and definitely use the promo code JND5 for a little discount when you check out. Yeah, that's all. That's it. Maybe subscribe if you like this video. Maybe give it a thumbs up. Comment down below this emoji so I know you are the real MVP and that you stayed till the end. It makes my heart sing all the emojis down below. Thank y'all. Y'all are real cool. I appreciate it. And I also hit 7,500 subscribers, which is also just insane. It's real crazy. I know there's other YouTubers who are hitting like way bigger milestones, but it's just really cool. I like the community that's grown here. I think y'all are real cool. And I just appreciate you. So I will see you in the next video. Many reading vlogs and reading challenges to come. So see you soon.